Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. It's day 18. Day 18. Wow, only 7 more days till Christmas. Are you feeling it? Are you busy? Are you excited? Are you going crazy? Clearly I am, right? So I hope you are finding a way to stay calm and balanced and focused about the real meaning. Doing all of this extra stuff, decorating, buying presents, colors, special music, all that stuff is certainly fun. But of course, that's not at the heart at all of what Christmas is it? I remember years ago when I went to Russia, and I think I've explained why I went. We would go during the winter for a number of years in a row, and we served in an orphanage. We took a winter camp to an orphanage about 5 hours south of Moscow. And I remember being impressed how they still had Santa Claus and they still had gifts and they still had all the decorations, but none of it was around Christmas. It was all done in New Year's, of course, because communism had outlawed the church for a number of years. And so all the different party celebrations and gift giving and all of that was transferred over to New Year's. And they make a big deal of New Year's, I think even more than we do, in terms of all the celebrations there. But Christmas is celebrated in January, Orthodox Christmas, and it is truly only a spiritual, faith-based religious holiday. None of the trappings of commercialism and all of that has been woven into it. And there's not a lot I like about communism and the style of government and all of that, but I do kind of think that that is fascinating, and I love that. And I wish there was a way to keep our commercial aspects and our secular aspects and our crazy overdrive life away from what is meaningful spiritually. And so I just, they have the calendar to help them do that. We don't. We have to separate it in our hearts and our minds. And so I hope that you're able to do that. Hey, today we're taking it a little light. So I've got an ornament story, and I've got, our puzzle and our Bible verse. And I'll bring more to you this weekend and early into next week as we go into Christmas. So continue to watch, and thank you for being here. Most of my ornaments have been purchased by myself or were gifts from my mom to get us started. But a few ornaments were gifts from other people, and this is one of them. When I took up painting a few years ago, I did so in the community of a group of friends, and one lady, Laura, was particularly responsible for helping me get started and jump into discovering my new talent and passion and interest. And last year, she gave each of us in this group, we call ourselves the artsy folk, and we have a text group. Well, she gave us this palette or this glass ornament that looks like a palette with brush and paint on it. And I just love it. 18. Making these puzzles has been actually a lot of fun. So, day 18. Chip and Dale are the ultimate snow bros. They are snowboarding down the mountain slopes. Okay, one of the great joys of preparing for the holidays is all the cards and special little gifts you get along the way. And one of the traditions for us is this little tin here. The family of the nephew and niece that I sent the advent calendar to. Every year they send us some gingerbread that they make, and it is beautiful. I want to show you this. They invested in a special type of roller that imprints a beautiful design. And then they make this in sheets. They make it in sheets like that and roll this pattern on it and then put this glaze, and it fills in some of the holes. And it is just wonderful. Now her recipe has black pepper and cocoa in it. It's so wonderful. And I don't normally, you saw me make the gingerbread this year. I don't normally do that. And so for them to send us some special treats, this is Christmas right here. Oh, look at this. They don't normally send us all of these. This is great. I love the mixture. And for just the two of us here to have a collection of Christmas cookies, wonderful. And then Kate, the girl, in the videos that you've seen, my niece, she's so crafty and artistic. She made this card for us. Isn't that great? Merry Christmas, love, Kate. That's wonderful. And then it came with, believe it or not, this is a card. This is wood. It's got a thickness to it, but it's got they wrote a message in there for us, and us being Disney folk, we love this. Tonight's Bible verse and character for our 25 Days of the Christmas Story is kind of a major character. It's Herod, King Herod. He was the king of Israel, puppet government of Rome under Caesar. And so he was a legitimate king, but he was definitely subservient to the Roman government. And our verse is found in Matthew chapter 2, verses 3 through 4. Said, when King Herod heard this, this was the message from the wise men who had came to ask if there was a new king that had been born. And Herod, it says, he was deeply disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. So he assembled all the chief priests and scribes of the people and asked them where the Messiah would be born. Now here's the interesting thing, is the chief priests and scribes, they knew that the prophecy said he was going to be born in Bethlehem. And yet Herod became jealous, and the priests and scribes just ignored the fact that these wise men were following the star to, why didn't they all go to Bethlehem and find out for themselves? That's the message that our pastor is giving this weekend in church, that they missed Christmas. And so it's a fascinating story. And if you read it, Herod did some other really horrible things later, killing the babies of Bethlehem and such to try to kill this newborn king. So horrible, horrible, horrible. But all of our stories are filled with people with different motives and intentions and ways they receive good news. And so lessons to be learned, I suppose. All right. Hey, everybody, thank you for joining us. Day 18 is on the books, or I don't know the phrase. Day 18 is here and done. And we're continuing our final countdown, the final week leading into Christmas. And I'm getting excited. So I'll see you tomorrow.